Oh me, oh my. The 5th seeded Miami Heat is up 2 games to nothing on the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. Last night, I could almost hear the Miami clubs and the Miami bars partying it up all the way from my house in Las Vegas. That rapper Pitbull, who's always talking about Miami and the Miami Heat, must be having bottle service for the next 24 hours. But before we talk about the Miami Heat, or before we talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, we need to talk about those refs. What was going on with those refs last night? Goodness gracious, that was some terrible officiating down the stretch of the game. Let's take a look at that foul call on Dragic.
Gives it up to Middleton, launches a 3, and he's fouled!
He was straight up. There was no contact made there whatsoever. The refs basically gave the Bucks 3 free points. Terrible call, absolutely poor officiating. How much money are these refs getting paid? You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. I've seen better officiating at the YMCA. Seriously, that was a terrible call. And then on the other end of the court, they go ahead and make a terrible call as well. Where was the foul on Giannis in this play?
Butler with 2, with 1. Butler against Matthews, gets it away.
Giannis made as much contact with Jimmy Butler on this play as the Knicks have made contact with the NBA playoffs the past couple years. None. No contact whatsoever. Come on, refs. These are the NBA playoffs. You guys are getting paid at the least hundreds of thousands of dollars. I understand that nobody's perfect, but there's no excuse for 2 terrible calls in such a short span of time from one another. Absolutely terrible. No one wants to see a playoff game end with free throws. If free throws were warranted and someone was actually fouled, then okay, I get it. Free throws are part of the game. But when the game ends with free throws over 2 terrible calls, inexcusable. There's nothing to say about that. Alright, now let's talk about those Miami Heat. Oh my goodness. Good job, Miami Heat. 2 games to 0 on the number 1 seed in the NBA with the defensive player and the guy who's most likely going to win the NBA MVP. Last night, the Miami Heat had 7 players in double figures. Jimmy Butler only had 13, which we'll talk about that in a second. Jae Crowder had 16, Bam Adebayo had 15 and 9, and the first video I ever made on this channel to get more than 10 views was a player analysis on Bam Adebayo. And I said that he is underrated and to watch out for him. So Bam Adebayo, thank you for giving me a little bit of credibility with your performance last night. Duncan Robinson had 13 points, and keep in mind, just a couple years ago, Duncan Robinson was playing Division III basketball. Yes, you guys, Division III. I didn't say, oh, he was just in college 2 years ago. No, he was playing Division III. And now he's in the NBA playoffs giving people 13 points. If that's not a story on hard work, perseverance, and dedication, then really, I don't know what is. And Jimmy Butler played JUCO as well, for those who don't know. So this Miami Heat team has a whole lot of heart. You're always going to have an advantage when you have a big heart. So the Miami Heat is full of some dogs right now. Tyler Herro had 17, 4, and 5. And please remember, this guy is a rookie. And not only is he a rookie, but he was taken 13th overall. And he's playing like he should have gone to the top 3, very least top 5. Kelly Olynyk had 11 points. He did his job. He played his role. Good job. And I'm glad he wasn't trying to break someone's arm like he did when he played Kevin Love a few years ago. But last night, the best player on the court for the Miami Heat was none other than Goran Dragic himself. Dragic had 23, 4, and 5 in last night's game. And not only that, but he had 17 points at the end of the first half. And in every single playoff game this year, Goran Dragic has had more than 20 points. He is the only player on the Miami Heat who has had more than 20 points every single game in the playoffs this postseason. And I don't know about you guys, but I haven't heard ESPN say his name a single time this postseason. So Goran Dragic, good job, dude. You are killing it out there. Keep doing your thing. Now let's talk about Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy Butler only had 13 points last night. 13 points on 3 of 8 from the field. That is not good for a player of Jimmy Butler's caliber. However, as a Jimmy Butler fan, I am glad he had a bad performance, and here is why. Although Jimmy Butler may seem hard-headed at times, and rightfully so, the dude really doesn't have the ego that people make it out to seem like he does. Jimmy really just cares about winning basketball games. This postseason, Jimmy has been averaging 3 assists per game, and last night, when he realized he couldn't buy a bucket to save his life, he started dishing the ball out even more and had 6 assists. Jimmy doesn't need to be the center of attention, even though the media might make it seem like that from time to time. Jimmy is all about winning. He noticed his shot wasn't falling falling and he started distributing to the guys whose shots were falling. That says a lot about a basketball player, so I'm all for it. And if you think I'm reaching on Jimmy Butler, take this quote from the man himself. He said, "My role is to impact winning, and I think I did that on both sides of the ball tonight." Very true. Jimmy Butler is always going to play his 100%. Jimmy is a great defender, and with the exception of last night, he is also a great offensive player. And now the second thing Jimmy's poor performance told us last night is that the Miami Heat are a way deeper basketball team than what they're given credit for. Once again, 7 guys in double digits in the playoffs? We're not talking about the 2016 Golden State Warriors where everybody on that team could have scored 50 a night if they wanted to. We're talking about a team with rookies having double digits. We're talking about a team with a guy who was playing Division III basketball a few years ago putting up double-digit points. We're talking about role players having double-digit points, you guys. That is a very good basketball team, and that is a very deep basketball team. So Jimmy not having his best night on offense shows us that the Miami Heat is very capable of stepping their game up in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, Milwaukee Bucks fans, I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but truth be told, you can't really argue with the numbers. And speaking of numbers, if you guys appreciate the honesty and wouldn't mind increasing the number of likes on this video for the YouTube algorithm, I'd appreciate it. That's all I ask for, just a simple tap of the like button. That's all I'm asking for. But now let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh my goodness, we have a lot to say about the Milwaukee Bucks. I would be embarrassed. I really would be absolutely embarrassed of myself right now. How are you the first seed with the defensive player of the year on your team, with the guy who is most likely going to win the MVP on your team, and you are down 2-0 to the 5th seeded Miami Heat? I get that the Heat are a better team than what most people expected them to be in the playoffs, but at some point, you need to have some pride in yourselves to not go down 2-0 to the 5th seed. All season, the Milwaukee Bucks have had the most efficient team defense out of any team in the NBA. And not only that, but the Bucks set a regular season record for the best defense as a team out of any team since the 1970s. So in other words, statistically speaking, the Bucks have had a better defensive season this regular season than any NBA team in the past 50 years. Where's that defense in the playoffs? Because all I see are rookies obliterating you. I see Division III basketball players obliterating you, and I see you guys losing to a team despite their best player only putting up 13 points. And I know the Milwaukee Bucks fans don't want to hear that, but really, I'm just speaking the truth. If the roles were reversed, I would be praising you guys as well. But let's start off with Giannis, because he's the leader of the team and the best player, whatever. Let's start off with Giannis. First things first. Even though I am a diehard Lakers fan and I am a huge LeBron fan, before the bubble started, I made a video specifically saying why you should be the MVP instead of LeBron. You had the best defensive box plus minus out of any player in the NBA. You led your team to the best defensive efficiency out of any team in the past 50 years. You led the NBA in points per minute. I could go on and on things you accomplished this season and why all of that made me have you as my MVP over LeBron. And the problem goes deeper than just last night's game. Let's look at what Giannis said after game 1 when Jimmy Butler was tearing them apart. The reporter asked Giannis if he'd consider switching onto Jimmy Butler, and listen to what Giannis had to say.
To guard him?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Why would you ask that?
Is that something you want to do going forward?
No, I'll do whatever coach tells me.
What in the world do you mean? Why would you even ask me that? Dude, why do you think you're being asked that? Yes, I get it. You are a forward and Jimmy Butler is a guard. I understand that. However, you are the defensive player of the year. You are the #1 seed losing to the #5 seed. And you're saying you can't even consider switching on to the guy who's dropping 40 points? He had a playoff career high on your team. So for you to act like it doesn't even cross your mind to play some defense on him, what kind of defensive player of the year is that? And Isaiah Thomas even called you out on that. Once again, I don't really expect a 7-footer to guard a guard. But if that guard is dropping 40 points on you, and if you are the defensive player of the year, for you to act like you are too good to go out and guard him, come on man, where's the pride? And I'm a Giannis fan. I think he's a great basketball player. But that comment just didn't really seem like something a competitor would say. And now in game 2, what happened to Giannis? Let's look at the stats, because like I said, we can't really argue with stats, right? Giannis had 29 points and 14 rebounds on 10 of 18 shooting. And that's very good. That is an efficient shooting night. Well, I don't want to say shooting, and here's why. Giannis can't shoot the basketball to save his life. If I had to pick between Giannis making a jump shot and Shaq making a jump shot to save my life, I would honestly say, you know what? Hold the shot. I'm gonna pack my bags and just head on to heaven, because I can't count on Giannis to make a jump shot for dear life. And now I know some of the Milwaukee Bucks fans are running straight to the comments to say,
Ray, Giannis doesn't need to have a jump shot. He led the NBA in points per minute. He's the MVP. He's the defensive player of the year. He led our team to the first seed.
And look, I get that. All of that is correct, except it's not. Giannis is out here scoring on anybody during the regular season. But when the playoffs come around, specifically when he's playing the Miami Heat, if Giannis doesn't have a clear lane to the basket, Giannis isn't scoring the ball. Just watch the game. Giannis is a one-dimensional player. He drives to the basket, he's faster than most people, he's more athletic than most people, and he's very good at taking the ball to the hole. But when you cut that off, it's like that dude who's 40 years old living in his mom's basement. If she cuts off his income stream, that dude is done for. Giannis, you need to have a jump shot if you want to lead your team somewhere. If Giannis were to develop a jump shot, he is by far the most unstoppable player in the NBA. Now, I'm not going to critique him much harder on that, because a lot of star players never had a jump shot until their late 20s, and Giannis is only 25. For example, LeBron James of my Lakers didn't even have a decent jump shot until he was around 28, give or take. So I'm not going to sit here and act like Giannis is just some terrible sort of player, because that's not true. Giannis is a phenomenal basketball player. I'm just saying, out of fair criticism, if Giannis wants to be absolutely unstoppable, where he can either choose to pull up on you or he can choose to drive the ball to the rim, Giannis is going to need to have a jump shot in the next couple of years. And then Mike Budenholzer, the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I am sure he had a tough night sleeping yesterday. Not me, I slept like a baby. But Mike Budenholzer, are we serious right now? If Budenholzer loses to the 5th seeded Miami Heat and Eric Spoelstra once again, I don't know how much job security Mike Budenholzer has coming around next year. And I could go on and on talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, but at this point it would feel like I'm beating a dead horse. Or should I say, beating a dead buck. That's really all I had to say on last night's game. I am very excited to see the rest of this series play out. If you watched this video all the way through, please make sure to give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below. I'm usually pretty good about responding to every single comment, whether it be sooner or later. And hit subscribe if you're new to this channel. I post a new video every morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to stay in the loop on everything going on in NBA basketball and everything going on in the playoffs, just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I am out of here. If you're still here, consider watching this other video I picked out for you down below. Please just watch it. I'm trying to get to 300 subs, so go watch that video. Let me know what y'all think. And hit the like button on that video too. All right, see you guys.